Jay here. I'm here to bring you a review on Dragon Ball Super episode 74, English dub. Okay. At the beginning of this episode, it goes to where it left off in the previous episode. Jocko showed up and he was about to shoot Gohan inside the Great Saiyaman suit, cause he didn't know who the hell he was. So Jocko's about to blast Gohan, the Great Saiyaman, and the girl that figured out his identity in the previous episode and all that shit. So in the nick of time, right before Jocko was about to blast Gohan, cause he was on the fucking gun, on the Jocko's gun, and he was about to blast him with his own blaster. Gohan took off his mask and said, "No, wait, it's me, Gohan." And then Jocko recognized him as Goku's son. He was like, "Oh, you're Goku's son." And he was like, "Yeah." And then he explained why he was about to attack him and everything. It turns out that Jocko's looking for some parasite that can go into people and make them stronger. I couldn't say his name in the previous review that I made, but Wadagash, I guess that's how you say it. Then Gohan tells Jocko if he gets anything on Wadagash, let him know that he has to go. Then he goes back to that girl Coco's apartment to rehearse, I guess, the lines and everything. But then Coco starts thinking about, I guess, what she planned out was Barry, the actor from the previous episode. And it turns out they had a plan to where it wasn't really Coco's plan, it was Barry's plan, where he wanted Coco to distract Gohan at her apartment while he hires some photographers or whatever to take pictures, saying that that's her new boyfriend or whatever, because she's a idol or whatever, and that will I don't know, expose or whatever and that's the evil thing to Barry or whatever. So she goes to the curtain and she's about to unveil the curtain, I guess, to take pictures or whatever. Then she starts thinking and starts getting emotional, saying that she doesn't think Gohan understands how she has a heart and everything, blah blah blah. Anyways, after they're done with rehearsal, they go to the rooftop and she says goodbye to Gohan, but she runs up and kisses Gohan. Gohan is married and with a kid. So when she kisses Gohan, a photographer takes a bunch of pictures, and it ends up being Barry. The photographer ends up being Barry. And Gohan goes home, and his wife is waiting there for him, and she's like, "Oh, I still have dinner waiting for you." And then a knock, Gohan gets a knock at his door at his house, and it ends up being Barry trying to expose him with a bunch of pictures, him kissing Coco, all that shit. Then Videl just stands up and starts saying you're trying to go this far just cause I wouldn't let you give me an autograph. How low did she starts ripping the pictures, and Gohan starts telling fucking Barry to get out of his house, really stepping up to him and shit. And then Barry goes out and starts beating his car, and while he's beating his car, Wadagash shows up and just fucking goes inside fucking Barry. Then it goes back to Gohan and Videl, and they're inside Pan's room while she's sleeping. And out of nowhere, Wadagash inside Barry, he's buff as fuck. He looks kind of furry. He looks weird, human furry. It's weird. Anyways, he just slowly it just did it in slow motion, but he quickly bust inside fucking Gohan's house and literally punched fucking Gohan to the side, and Gohan just knocked out. And then Gohan, like, he literally knocked out. Then when Gohan came like out of being knocked out, like he woke up, Pan starts saying that Wadagash / Barry took Pan, and like she was screaming like he took my baby, and Gohan got all serious. And then it goes to Wadagash / Barry, and he's like carrying Pan, and he's like, well, you're very excited for like someone who's getting kidnapped. Then he goes to on top of a building, starts shouting like what Barry would say, like cocky shit, and he starts sniffing like Wadagash / Barry, and then fucking Pan end up like shitting her pants in her diaper. I'm sorry, cause she's a baby. Then Gohan shows up and then starts fighting Wadagash / Barry, and then he starts transforming. Like, it was a weird ass fight. Like, he starts transforming. First he did like a transformation where he looked like a fucking gorilla, and then Gohan starts beating that up, and then he starts growing even bigger into a huge ass monster. So, and then there was like one scene where the film crew of the Great Saiyaman movie showed up, and then they're like, this could be like the shoot of a lifetime. We need to get this. So you see them like zoom up the fucking stairs, and then as soon as they get to the top, like the head of the film crew, he gets like a backache, and then they end up getting to the top, and they end up like filming the entire fight like that's happening. So Gohan is getting his ass whooped by that big ass monster that Wadagash turned into, along with Barry. Like, he's absorbed. I don't know how he turned into this big ass monster. I'm guessing that's like its form when it's absorbed into somebody. But that thing was fucking up Gohan. So it's beating up Gohan. Then Jocko shows up out of nowhere. And he's about to fire his big ass gun on his ship to destroy like Wadagash or whatever. And Gohan says no. He starts saying, you see my daughter or that little girl up there? She's watching, so I have to show her that I'm strong, and like whatever. You just lead on black. He has to prove to his family on that shit. Then he starts fighting it, and it starts whooping his ass again. And then it like sent his ass to outer, like not outer space, but the atmosphere. Like Gohan's floating in the atmosphere. Then Videl starts going on how she like believes in Gohan, and then she starts shouting Gohan along with Pan, and I guess it motivates Gohan because he comes down like as a Super Saiyan but wearing the Great Saiyaman suit. So the head of the film crew, he announced it as Super Great Saiyaman. So Gohan starts charging his Kamehameha wave, but he called it the Super like Great Saiyaman beam or something like that. He didn't call it Kamehameha wave because I guess he wanted to hide the identity of the attack, but that was weird. So anyways, Gohan fired the Kamehameha wave / Super Great Saiyaman beam, and it didn't destroy Wadagash, but it beat Wadagash and separated him from Barry, and Jocko just like I guess put it back in his tank. So after all that happened, the premiere of the movie ended up happening. Like the whole world seen the movie, and Goku and all them. And Goku, he was like, I prefer real fighting over like watching it. So he got bored watching it, and Gohan was laughing because that's Goku for you. But then it goes to outer space again to that noodle spot. And Jocko's eating noodles like the beginning of the previous episode. And the owner's like, didn't you like learn your lesson? And then Jocko's like, I don't think it'll happen again. Then it goes back to the cage that Watagash is in, and it broke. Then the episode ended. So this episode was more entertaining than the previous episode, that's for sure. But this episode was dope. Like, I like Watagash's transformation. I like the villain in this kind of small arc. Barry, he was a interesting, cocky character. So yeah, I like this episode. This episode was dope. It was entertaining. It had a good fight. Gohan was kind of shining, even though like the Great Saiyaman's kind of not my favorite. Like out of like Gohan, like there's still Super Saiyan 2, and I want that Gohan to come back. But Gohan had his shine in this episode. Like he had some moments, and he was like dope in this episode. But anyways, this episode was just, it was a filler episode, but it was a dope filler episode. So I'm Jay, and this is my review on Dragon Ball Super episode 74 English dub. Thank you for watching.